Old age, when we think our hearts have stopped fluttering, is often when they are most vulnerable, like a small candle flickering in the wind. At 60 and beyond, when days seem to slow down, many older adults yearn for a spark of light, a companion to share, quiet mornings, old stories, or just a simple goodnight text. But this longing can sometimes lead to painful mistakes, where love turns into hurt. Why do seasoned hearts so easily mistake love? And how can we protect them or ourselves from sweet but false promises? Today we step into the story of Esther, a 67-year-old woman who thought she found love through Facebook messages only to discover it was a shattered dream. Through her journey, you'll learn why older adults can lose their way in love, the warning signs to watch for, and lessons for loving wisely. If this story touches you, leave a 1 in the comments, share with loved ones, and subscribe to the Elderly Advice channel to explore more heartfelt stories. Stay with us, because love, in later years, can be a late-blooming flower, but only when nurtured with wisdom. Esther Thompson stood in her small garden on the outskirts of Chicago, her frail hands gently tending to carnations, fading under the sunset. At 67, with silver hair that shimmered and a kind smile, she carried the gentle grace of a life fully lived, a devoted wife, a protective mother, a friend who always listened. But since Henry, her husband of 35 years, passed away from a heart attack, Esther's little home became a place of empty spaces. Family photos on the wooden shelf, the smell of Henry's morning coffee, the echo of her daughter Lily's laughter in the kitchen, all were now fading memories like carnation petals falling silently in the garden. "I'm so lonely," Lily Esther once whispered during a rare afternoon with her daughter, her eyes gazing far beyond the window. "I just want someone to talk to feel my heart still beats." Lily, now 38 with 2 young children, held her mother's hand tightly, her voice warm but tinged with worry. "Mom, I'm here. I'll visit more often. Don't be sad." Esther smiled, brushing Lily's hair, but deep down she knew her smile couldn't hide the emptiness gnawing at her heart. Each evening, Esther sat at the kitchen table, a dim yellow lamp casting light on her wrinkled face. She scrolled through Facebook on her old phone, seeking posts about flowers, books, or any connection to the world beyond one crisp fall afternoon. As golden leaves covered the path, a message popped up on her screen. The sender called himself James Carter, a 62-year-old engineer working on distant construction sites in Dubai. "Hello. Esther," he wrote, his tone as warm as a gentle breeze. "Your smile reminds me of sunsets back home. May I get to know you?" Esther blushed, her heart stirring with a strange new rhythm, like a long extinguished candle suddenly relit Lily. "I have a new friend," she exclaimed excitedly. At a weekend dinner, her eyes sparkling as she showed off the messages. "He's an engineer, very polite, and writes beautiful poetry. An online friend." "Mom?" Lily frowned, her voice laced with doubt. "Be careful, there are lots of scammers out there." "Oh, you worry too much," Esther laughed, waving her hand, but her heart was dancing. "I know. He's kind, not like those people." James's messages became a light in Esther's cloudy days. Each morning she woke to his words. "Good morning, dear Esther. How are you today?" Each night he shared stories of construction sites glowing with lights, dreams of a seaside home, and poetry that stirred her heart. "You are the breeze that soothes my soul in the barren desert." Esther, who once devoured romantic novels in her youth, felt like she was living a dream. She bought a blue dress, smiled at herself in the mirror, and hummed softly while watering her carnations. "He says he'll come to America soon," she told Lily, her voice brimming with hope, her eyes twinkling like the sunset in her garden. "We'll meet, and I'll introduce him to you." But James always had reasons to delay. "My camera's broken. Dear Esther," he texted, his words as sweet as ever. "The signal in Dubai is terrible, but I'll fix it soon." Esther nodded at her screen, believing love could bridge any distance. She dreamed of walks with James, of days no longer lonely, and her heart bloomed like a carnation after rain. Then one night, James's message carried an urgent tone, like a cold wind sweeping through the garden. "Esther, I'm in big trouble," he wrote. "My luggage is stuck at customs, and I need $2,000 to sort it out. Can you help me? I swear I'll pay you back." Esther sat quietly in her kitchen, the yellow lamp illuminating a flicker of doubt on her face. "Mom, don't send money," Lily warned when Esther shared the news, her voice almost pleading. "You've never met him. How can you trust him?" But Esther, swept up in James's loving words, held her daughter's hand, her voice trembling. "Just this once, Lily. He needs me." She opened her savings account, money set aside for roof repairs and gifts for her grandchildren, and sent it, hoping it would preserve her dream of love. But the request didn't stop Esther. "I need $5,000 to finish an urgent project," James texted 2 weeks later. Esther sat in the dark, staring at her garden's carnations, her heart heavy as if caught in a storm. "James, I don't have much left," she replied, her fingers shaking on the screen. "You're everything to me, Esther," he answered, his words sweet as honey. "Just this once, I promise." Esther bit her lip, tears streaming down her cheeks, and sent more money, then more, totaling nearly $2,000. Each time she pressed send, her heart tore a little more, but James's promises held her like a fragile thread between hope and truth. The truth crashed down one winter morning as pale sunlight filtered through the window. Lily, alarmed by her mother's growing silence and empty eyes, nearly shouted, "Mom, let me see his messages." Esther hesitated but handed over her phone. When Lily opened James's profile, she froze, her voice breaking. "Mom, this is a fake photo. I found it on a scam website." Esther sank into her chair, clutching her chest, tears falling like rain. "It can't be," she whispered, her voice crumbling like a crushed petal. "I thought he loved me." "Lily, I just wanted to be loved again." The small kitchen seemed to close in around her, the carnations outside now just faint shadows in the weak light. Esther sat silently holding Lily, her heart shattered like a stolen dream. But in that moment, Lily gripped her mother's hand, tears glistening, but her voice full of love. "Mom, I'm here. The grandkids need you, and I need you. We'll get through this, okay?" Esther wiped her tears, looked at her daughter, then out to the garden where sunlight began to peek through the clouds. A small warmth crept into her heart, like a tiny flame flickering in the cold wind. In the weeks that followed, Esther joined a book club at the local library where she found new friends who shared her love for novels. She still tended her carnation garden, but now with a gentler smile, as if the petals whispered that she still had time to live. One afternoon, as she and Lily sat together, Esther hesitated before asking, "Should I try to love again?" Lily grinned, squeezing her mother's hand, her voice playful. "If you want to, but this time I'm checking their background." Esther laughed, her clear laughter filling the kitchen like the vibrant sunset outside. Her heart, though once broken, left a small door open. Not for James, but for new feelings, guided by the wisdom her tears had taught her. Dear friends, love. In old age is a small candle burning brightly, but easily swayed by the wind. Why do experienced hearts seemingly steady so often misjudge love, only Niki to lose their way in empty promises? Understanding the hearts of older adults helps us not only empathize, but also protect them or ourselves from undeserved pain. First, loneliness is a quiet shadow that cloaks later years. When children have their own lives and friends fade away, older adults crave someone to share with, even just a morning greeting. Kindness, even from strangers, can feel like a warm light, making it easy to open their hearts without question. Like Esther, they find joy in connection, but sometimes forget that not every light is trustworthy. Second, aging minds often drift to the past, painting old loves with a rosy glow. Love letters from youth, moonlit walks, become the yardstick for new relationships. This can lead older adults to see others through a romantic lens, overlooking red flags, as if reliving a long-ago dream. Finally, fragile self-worth is a hidden wound. At 60 and beyond, many feel their value dims without the roles they once held. Busy, parent-active colleague flattery from a stranger, even if false, can make them feel loved and needed, like a wilted flower revived by water. But this need for validation can cloud judgment, drawing them into risky relationships. Love, in later years, can be a late-blooming flower, but it must be shielded from the cold winds of deceit. To keep hearts safe, older adults and their loved ones should recognize danger. Signs like dark clouds, warning of a storm. First, a relationship that moves too fast is cause for concern. If someone declares love after just a few chats, be cautious. True love is like a young tree needing time to take root, not a fire that flares instantly. Second, overly romantic or dramatic words are often an emotional trap. Grand promises like watching sunsets on a beach without real action may hide bad intentions. Genuine love grows through simple honesty, not flowery phrases. Third, avoiding face-to-face contact is a clear red flag. If someone always has excuses for not video calling, or meeting like a broken camera or busy schedule, question it. Someone who loves you will find ways to connect no matter the distance. Finally, any request for money, even disguised as an emergency, is a loud alarm. Love is never measured in dollars, and a sincere person won't put you in a hardship. If you spot these signs, pause and talk to loved ones. They are your family's flame, helping you see truth through the fog of deceit. Love in old age is a precious gift, a candle that brightens the sunset years, but it needs wisdom's shelter. Loving is never wrong, but love with clear eyes. Don't let sweet promises sweep you away like a storm. Instead, let love grow slowly like a flower blooming in gentle sunlight. Trust your intuition. That quiet voice often knows what's right, and don't hesitate to share with children or friends. They're not judges, but your family's light, guiding your path. If your heart has been broken, remember, those wounds don't define you. Like Esther, you can rise, find your smile, and open your heart to new feelings, but with the caution time has taught, dear friend. If this story resonates, leave a 1 in the comments, like, share, and subscribe to Elderly Advice. Let love in later years be a radiant journey where your heart blooms, protected by wisdom and family love.